plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. That's 1-800-700-1134. 1-800-700-1134.
As a listener to this station, you've heard a variety of companies advertising their products and services, many of them for a number of years.
I'm Walt Parker with InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've gotten absolutely great results. No matter who's advertising, it definitely pays off. Doesn't matter what business they're in. I think they'll find it's going to be very rewarding.
My name is John Duncan, and I'm the CEO and founder of Bioscan of Los Colinas. It's simply the most effective advertising that I can do. I've advertised for the last 14 years on television, radio, and newspaper, and advertising with 660 gets the best results.
Hi, I'm Marcia West, Senior Account Manager for 660 AM The Answer. For 20 years, I've worked with companies, both big and small, to create cost-effective radio campaigns that get results. Let me do the same for you. Contact me today at mwest@ksky.com. That's mwest@ksky.com. I want to help you grow your business.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Currently at the podium is First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. Let's listen to what she has to say.
See, because at that moment, I realized that our time in the White House would form the foundation for who they would become. And how well we managed this experience could truly make or break them. That is what Barack and I think about every day as we try to guide and protect our girls through the challenges of this unusual life in the spotlight. How we urge them to ignore those who question their father's citizenship or faith. How we insist that the hateful language they hear from public figures on TV does not represent the true spirit of this country. How we explain that when someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high. With every word we utter, with every action we take, we know our kids are watching us. We as parents are their most important role models. And let me tell you, Barack and I take that same approach to our jobs as President and First Lady, because we know that our words and actions matter, not just to our girls, but the children across this country. Kids who tell us, I saw you on TV, I wrote a report on you for school. Kids like the little black boy who looked up at my husband, his eyes wide with hope, and he wondered Is my hair like yours? And make no mistake about it, this November when we go to the polls, that is what we're deciding. Not Democrat or Republican, not left or right. No, in this election and every election is about who will have the power to shape our children for the next 4 or 8 years of their lives. And I am here tonight because in this election, there is only one person who I trust with that responsibility. Only one person who I believe is truly qualified to be President of the United States, and that is our friend, Hillary Clinton. That's right. See, I trust Hillary to lead this country because I've seen her lifelong devotion to our nation's children. Not just her own daughter, who she has raised to perfection, but every child who needs a champion. Kids who take the long way to school to avoid the gangs. Kids who wonder how they'll ever afford college. Kids whose parents don't speak a word of English but dream of a better life. Kids who look to us to determine who and what they can be. You see, Hillary has spent decades doing the relentless, thankless work to actually make a difference in their lives. Advocating for kids with disabilities as a young lawyer, fighting for children's health care as First Lady, and for quality child care in the Senate. And when she didn't win the nomination 8 years ago, she didn't get angry or disillusioned. Hillary did not pack up and go home. Because as a true public servant, Hillary knows that this is so much bigger than her own desires and disappointments. So she proudly stepped up to serve our country once again as Secretary of State, traveling the globe to keep our kids safe. And look, there were plenty of moments when Hillary could have decided that this work was too hard, that the price of public service was too high, that she was tired of being picked apart for how she looks or how she talks or even how she laughs. But here's the thing. What I admire most about Hillary is that she never buckles under pressure. She never takes the easy way out. And Hillary Clinton has never quit on anything in her life. And when I think about the kind of president that I want for my girls and all our children, that's what I want. I want someone with the proven strength to persevere, someone who knows this job and takes it seriously, someone who understands that the issues a president faces are not black and white and cannot be boiled down to 140 characters. Look, because when you have the nuclear codes at your fingertips and the military in your command, you can't make snap decisions. You can't have a thin skin or a tendency to lash out. You need to be steady and measured and well-informed. I want a president with a record of public service, someone whose life's work shows our children that we don't chase fame and fortune for ourselves. We fight to give everyone a chance to succeed. when we're struggling ourselves, because we know that there is always someone worse off. And there, but for the grace of God, go I. I want a president who will teach our children that everyone in this country matters. A president who truly believes in the vision that our founders put forth all those years ago, that we are all created equal, each a beloved part of the great American story. And when crisis hits, we don't turn against each other. No, we listen to each other. We lean on each other because we are always stronger together.
Michelle Obama addressing the Democrat National Convention on 660 AM The Answer.
Because I know that that is the kind of president that Hillary Clinton will be. And that's why in this election, I'm with her.
You're listening to 660 AM The Answer. This is the Wells Report's coverage of the Democrat National Convention.
You see, Hillary understands that the president is about one thing and one thing only. It's about leaving something better for our kids. That's how we've always moved this country forward, by all of us coming together on behalf of our children. Folks who volunteer to coach that team, to teach that Sunday school class, because they know it takes a village. Heroes of every color and creed who wear the uniform and risk their lives to keep passing down those blessings of liberty. Police officers and protesters in Dallas who all desperately want to keep our children safe. People who lined up in Orlando to donate blood because it could have been their son, their daughter in that club. Leaders like Tim Kaine, who show our kids what decency and devotion look like. Leaders like Hillary Clinton, who has the guts and the grace to keep coming back and putting those cracks in that highest and hardest glass ceiling until she finally breaks through, lifting all of us along with her. That is the story of this country, the story that has brought me to this stage tonight, the story of generations of people who felt the lash of bondage, the shame of servitude, the sting of segregation, but who kept on striving and hoping and doing what needed to be done so that today I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves. And I watch my daughters, two beautiful, intelligent black young women, playing with their dogs on the White House lawn. And because of Hillary Clinton, my daughters and all our sons and daughters now take for granted that a woman can be president of the United States. So look, don't let anyone ever tell you that this country isn't great, that somehow we need to make it great again, because this right now is the greatest country on earth.
Michelle Obama addressing the Democrat National Convention on 660 AM The Answer.
Prepare to set out into the world. I want a leader who is worthy of that truth. A leader who is worthy of my girls' promise and all our kids' promise. A leader who will be guided every day by the love and hope and impossibly big dreams that we all have for our children. So in this election, We cannot sit back and hope that everything works out for the best. We cannot afford to be tired or frustrated or cynical. No, hear me. Between now and November, we need to do what we did 8 years ago and 4 years ago. We need to knock on every door. We need to get out every vote. We need to pour every last ounce of our passion and our strength and our love for this country into electing Hillary Clinton as President of the United States of America.
That's Michelle Obama from the DNC tonight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You're listening to DNC coverage from the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Coming up in just a couple of moments, we understand that Elizabeth Warren is going to speak. We will see if we can take a few moments of that speech. I don't know that that's going to be absolutely necessary. Some things I want to address from Michelle Obama's speech. That's coming up in just a couple of moments as you listen to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Conservative dollars are rare. As a matter of fact, conservative dollars are rare because the people who possess them take good care of them. The problem with conservative dollars is that sometime or another you have to spend them on things you do need, like, for example, the cell phone in your pocket. Big mobile companies are universally liberal. This is a problem. This cost us conservative Congressman Allen West. It's true. Your money goes from being a conservative dollar to being a liberal one when you give it to a big mobile cell phone company. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. So what do? I'm telling you, you need to get in touch with Patriot Mobile right this very moment and do something different. Right now, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy S7 with unlimited talk, text, and data for just $70. Mention or enter the promo code WELLS. This is really important, okay? Mention or enter the promo code WELLS when you check out, and you will waive the activation fee for up to 2 lines on the spot. All you got to do is remember my last name. Wells, the Wells Report, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or check out patriotmobile.com. Call Patriot Mobile today.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-300-0338. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-300-0338. That's 1-800-300-0338.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
You don't have to be a retail giant or government agency to be the victim of a costly data breach. If you run a website and collect customer data, your small to mid-sized business is just as likely to be targeted by hackers. The Barracuda Web Application Firewall provides cost-effective instant security against automated and targeted attacks, making this WAF a must-have for your SMB. Reclaim your network. Try a Barracuda Web App Firewall risk-free at barracuda.com/WAF.
There's a new answer for people in need of serious pain relief. Lidocare has created a one-of-a-kind pain relief patch that blocks pain for up to 8 hours. With the only non-water-based lidocaine patch on the market, Lidocare uses patent-pending technology to desensitize aggravated nerves for an odor-free, ultra-flexible, dry, and light solution to pain. The Lidocare Pain Patch, from the makers of Blue Emu, for long-lasting relief you can wear. Available at CVS, Walgreens, and Amazon.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Zero Res. A busy summer means a cleaner house is necessary, so let's get going at 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN for the $33 per room Mark Davis Show carpet cleaning special. Call them. Pre-treated, clean, sanitized, $33 a room. Also, drapes, upholstery, hardwood floors, 214-37-CLEAN. For a Zero Res clean, you also get a $50 gift certificate to Estilo Gaucho Brazilian Steakhouse. So call them. 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I have heard Michelle Obama speak before. She is a tremendous orator. She's very good at what she does. She speaks beautifully in a speech setting. As a matter of fact, I think she's incredibly intelligent. Her intellect is beautifully educated. She is truly a very serious human being in this nation. Truly a member of the intelligentsia. However, there is a willingness to buy into the aggrieved false reality being spun by Americans in the new millennium. Many Americans on the left. And we saw some of that today. She said that she wakes up every single morning in a house built by slaves. Now, the simple case of the matter is that slaves worked on the White House. But here's, as my esteemed and incredible colleague Paul Harvey says, here is the rest of the story. According to Brooke Bosca from Top Right News, the White House was not built solely or even primarily by slaves. Most of the labor consisted of local white laborers and artisans from Maryland and Virginia, and a number of immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, and other European nations. As the product neared completion, the lime-based whitewashing that gives the building its iconic appearance, slaves were indeed added to the mix. But once again, there is a small bit of, shall we say, intellectual laziness involved in the statement that I wake up in the morning every day in a house built by slaves. The United States government paid the slaves who worked on the White House. Philip Reed was paid directly a sum of $1.25 per day, $31 per day in 2016 dollars. Virginia Kruta of IJR adds these important points. Ms. Obama is herself a multimillionaire. Her husband graduated from Harvard University. She is a walking symbol of success that can come to anyone who's willing to work hard and apply one's talents in America. In other words, even as Michelle Obama herself rebukes the nation's history of racism, she's a living example that America has done much to overcome it. I want to make this very plain. It would be one thing to make that statement and then say, look at how far this nation has come. But what we have learned from the Obama administration itself is look how far this nation has slipped back into the clutches of evil racism. And this time, it wasn't because of white people. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Yeah, together we need to move forward. If only the Democrat Party actually worked as hard at bringing that available as they work as hard to say it. Actions speak louder. This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboats, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Let's talk about service techs that are really just salesmen in disguise. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls, and the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission, and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, you can get $3,500 off with Carrier's Cool Cash plus $1,800 off from your utility provider. That's saving over $5,000 on a new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. So call 2 other companies first and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh to call Josh now at 325-6644 online at that's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University Online.
Any Joe Schmo knows Geico will work to save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not just ask the savings?
That's me, Joe Savings. I'm not literally $1 million, but I feel like it. Why? Because when Joe switched his car insurance at geico.com, his monthly rate went down and the savings went up. Now he uses the handy Geico mobile app anytime to check out his policy perks. Talk about a win-win and 2 thumbs up. Man, I wish I had thumbs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nothing interrupts your day like feeling worn out, and nothing interrupts your night like snoring. It's not just your other half who feels the pain.
Honey, roll over!
Simple Sleep Services really works for snoring and sleep apnea without painful surgery, CPAPs, or masks. Just a comfortable custom mouthpiece that's covered by medical insurance. And they've made more in 5 years than anyone else. You'll have more energy every day and better rest at night.
Honey, roll over.
Visit simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. His name is Mark Davis, and Mark Davis has got a radio broadcast tomorrow. Let's find out what he's got planned to tell you tomorrow beginning at 7 a.m.
Hey, JD, good Monday evening. It is important for Republicans to pay attention to the Democrats as they convene. Their messaging, their imagery, it's what we're up against. So on our Tuesday show, tomorrow morning, we'll see how it all went when Bernie spoke, when the delegates tried to seem enthusiastic about Hillary, and how the adoring media culture covered it all. This, of course, plus any late-breaking overnight news. I'll be ready. Come join us tomorrow morning, Mark Davis Show, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m., The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I appreciate that. Sincerely, I do, my friend. And yeah, there are very serious issues here with this Democrat National Convention. 19,000 pages of hacked emails from the Democrat National Committee that are not being reported in the main, insofar as they make the DNC look exactly like the DNC looks: a cynical, abusive, ulterior, dishonest group of people willing to put themselves and their belief system ahead of everyone, including their own voters. Several weeks ago, Russian hackers were reportedly successful in breaching the DNC servers. However, over the weekend, Wikileaks refused to disclose where it had obtained the trove of data. Among other things, the documents show the party apparatus favoring Clinton's campaign over the insurgency of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. On a number of occasions, high-level DNC officials met with counterparts on Clinton's team to discuss ways to push back against stories that painted the Clinton campaign in a negative light. One pointedly worded missive dismissed Sanders' campaign as a mess, adding that his campaign apparatus never had their act together. The news took stage on social media, threatening to upend the Democrats' messaging and stealing the attention from a chaotic and divided Republican National Convention. This, by the way, of course, means that it was written by NBC, who said, of course, the Republicans, well, that's totally disheveled, chaotic, divided. Well, let's take a look at the divisions now. By the way, in case you were wondering, Bernie Sanders was supposed to speak before Michelle Obama, and Elizabeth Warren was supposed to speak after Bernie Sanders. So in other words, what they're doing is they're relegating Bernie Sanders into the very late night. He speaks after Elizabeth Warren. It's 10:38 in Philadelphia. So what's happening is this is damage control. Sanders campaign manager Jeff Weaver told ABC News in an interview that someone at the DNC needs to be held at least as accountable as the Trump campaign for a controversy involving Melania Trump's speech. Well, that was a lot of nothing. Separately, CNN reported that Florida Republican, or not Republican, obviously, Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the embattled DNC chair, was denied a speaking role. She's, as a matter of fact, was fired from the entire convention. She didn't gavel in. She won't gavel out. She will walk away from the DNC chair on Friday. Donald Trump, for his idea, for his view of the Wikileaks emails, said leaked emails of the DNC show plans to destroy Bernie Sanders, mock his heritage, and much more. One line online from WikiLeaks, very vicious. Rigged election, as he keeps talking about. The WikiLeaks email released today was so bad Sanders that it will make it Porter unless he... Now Bernie Sanders has a huge problem. And it is that he is the author of the socialist resurgence in the Democrat Party. And that socialist resurgence is something that he's going to have to heal right this minute. Because if indeed Bernie Sanders is the recipient of the good fortune of a floor fight, and he ends up with the Democrat nomination for president, the Democrat Party won't break 40% of the popular vote. It'll make the 1964 election, the disaster for the Republican Party, look like a political triumph in comparison. And everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. Now, the problem with it is Donna Brazile, the longtime strategist tapped to take over the Democrat National Committee, has her own set of problems with Bernie Sanders. 2 months ago, Brazile fired a message to DNC Communications Director Louis Miranda after Sanders endorsed Wasserman Schultz's primary opponent, and Miranda forwarded Brazile the text of Wasserman Schultz's statement. I saw this morning. How stupid. Don't know how to respond to Bernie anymore, said Brazile. I have no intention of touching this, Brazile wrote to several DNC operatives. Why? Because I will cuss out the Sanders camp. That was when the Washington Post asked for an interview because she was worried what she might say about Sanders' campaign. The Post reporter Abby Phillip requested to speak with Brazile to get her thoughts on this fight between the Sanders camp and the DNC over adequate representation on the platform committee and ahead of the convention. And she was afraid of what she would say. She was afraid that she would actually swear. The leaks continue. Talks about spreadsheets and email that appear to show party officials planning which donors and prominent fundraisers to provide with appointments to federal boards and commissions. This is what we call bribery. The documents, which were circulated among top DNC officials in April, could raise legal questions for the party, said Ken Boehm. He is the chairman of the National Legal and Policy Center. The disclosed DNC emails sure look like the potential Clinton administration has intertwined the appointments to federal government boards and commissions with the political and fundraising operations of the Democrat Party. That is unethical, if not illegal. The records which WikiLeaks released along with 20,000 hacked DNC emails and other documents on Friday also expose one of the Beltway's worst-kept secrets. Wealthy politicos often buy their way to presidential appointments. President Obama had been criticized for appointing dozens of top fundraisers called bundlers in the political fundraising realm to ambassadorships and other cushy federal positions. The spreadsheet, which was accompanied by emails sent between officials with the DNC finance team, contained 23 names of little-known corporate executives and professional fundraisers who donated to the committee and various Democrat political action committees. And then there's this. Democrat Party bigwigs enlisted the prominent media outlets to slant their coverage of Bernie Sanders to boost Hillary Clinton and sandbag the Vermont Socialist. This, according to some of the 19,000 emails hacked from the Democrat National Committee's servers and posted to Wikileaks. The messages reveal behind-the-scenes meetings of off-the-record exchanges between DNC operatives and staffers, networks and news websites, including the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, CNN, MSNBC, Politico, and Real Clear Politics. In one case, an investigative reporter at Politico gave DNC officials a sneak peek at the article about Clinton's state party fundraising before his editor even saw the piece. Per agreement, any thoughts appreciated, wrote Politico's Ken Vogel to the DNC's national press secretary, Mark Postenbach. By the way, in case you're wondering, remember what I would tell you about how the mainstream media had turned itself into the propaganda wing of the Democrat Party of the United States? There's proof. Smoking gun. Here, rewrite this for me so you find it acceptable. The communications officials often cherry-picked reporters. We've been working with him for weeks in general on writing up something positive. Miranda wrote of the Washington Post's Greg Sargent. We think he'd play ball. Days after top DNC officials held an off-the-record meeting with editors of the Wall Street Journal, Miranda leaked a letter to Journal reporter Laura Meckler with a note saying, "You didn't get this to me. You didn't get this from me." The letter, sent privately to the DNC from the Sanders campaign, complained about the rejection of almost all of his nominees to the party's Platform and Rules Committee. The next week, Miranda pressured Meckler to dismiss the Sanders campaign's objections. The only reason the Sanders camp even sent that letter is the Democrat Party chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, was courteous enough to reach out to give both camps representation. But the appointments are at the chair's discretion. That meaning Deborah Wasserman Schultz. And so, there you have the story of WikiLeaks and what that means to the Democrat Party. More business as usual. Let's be fair. Do you believe that bundlers and those people who give to the Republican Party also got ambassadorships, cushy government jobs? Of course they did. Of course they did. It doesn't surprise me, however, that this is part and parcel of the way the Democrat Party does business. Politics ain't beanbag. It's true. But there is something that you got to keep in mind. There is a fine line already between taking fundraisers and giving them government jobs. That is a very fine line. It's made even more fine by the fact that we, the people of the United States, tolerate it as we do. Once again, it all comes down to the mainstream media not doing their jobs. You should have not heard of this from WikiLeaks. You should have heard of this in the pages of the New York Times. You should have heard of all of this in the pages of the Washington Post. You should have heard about all of these things. That's what journalism is all about. But that's not what those papers did. It's not what the New York Times, the Washington Post, Chicago Trib, all those papers, they didn't do that. They took articles like that from WikiLeaks and they torpedoed them in the pages of their own newspapers. They explained why they weren't important, why it didn't matter, why it was a Republican plot, and all of these ridiculous, hackneyed excuses that when I was growing up would get you, you wouldn't be able to get away with this in junior high school, let alone in the pages of the world's great newspaper. You'd end up in the principal's office with a warmed butt. Don't try to push that off on me, Wells. That's baloney. Yeah, that's baloney, all right. It's complete, hackneyed, silly stupidness. But what does it cost the Democrat Party so far? They're embarrassed? They should be. But here's what it's going to cost them. Bernie Sanders is about to step up on that stage. And he will step up on that stage to uproarious applause. And every time he says we need to elect Hillary Clinton, every single time he says that, his own voters are going to boo. And every time he holds up his hand to get them to stop booing and says we have to elect Hillary Clinton, his credibility will erode another couple of notches until by the end of his speech, there will be no reason whatsoever to listen to Bernie Sanders ever say anything again. So once again, fully half of the Democrat presidential campaign tossed in the ash can, left only to a socialist to give any kind of competition to Hillary Clinton. And then when he finally gets to the point where he has his moment of truth at the DNC, and by the way, he's walking to the stage right now. You just want to take it? Yeah. He's walking to the stage right this very moment. Do you want to play the very fancy breaking news sounder? Hit it, baby. Go right ahead.
This is a breaking news update live on 660 AM. The Answer.
He is a Vermont socialist. He is the only person that gave Hillary Clinton any kind of competition whatsoever. He is Bernie Sanders addressing the Democrat National Convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer. And here is Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to be here tonight and to be following in the footsteps of my good friend Elizabeth Warren. and to be here tonight to thank Michelle Obama for her incredible service to our country. She has made all of us proud. Let me begin by thanking the hundreds of thousands of Americans who actively participated in our campaign as volunteers. Thank you. Let me thank the 2.5 million Americans who helped fund our campaign with an unprecedented 8 million individual campaign contributions. Anyone know what that average contribution was? Right, $27. And let me thank the 13 million Americans who voted for the political revolution. Giving us the 1,846 pledged delegates here tonight. And delegates, thank you for being here. And thank you for all the work you have done. I look forward to your votes during the roll call tomorrow night. And let me offer a special thanks to the people of my own state of Vermont who have sustained me and supported me as a mayor, congressman, senator, and presidential candidate. And to my family, my wife Jane, our 4 kids, and 7 grandchildren, thank you very much. I understand that many people here in this convention hall and around the country are disappointed about the final results of the nominating process. I think it's fair to say that no one is more disappointed than I am. But to all of our supporters here and around the country, I hope you take enormous pride in the historical accomplishments we have achieved. Together, my friends, we have begun a political revolution to transform America, and that revolution, our revolution, continues. Election days come and go, but the struggle of the people to create a government which represents all of us and not just the 1%. A government based on the principles of economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. That struggle continues. And I look forward to being part of that struggle with you. Let me be as clear as I can be. This election is not about and has never been about Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders or any of the other candidates who sought the presidency. This election is not about political gossip. It's not about polls. It's not about campaign strategy. It's not about fundraising. It is not about all the things that the media spends so much time discussing. This election is about and must be about the needs of the American people and the kind of future we create for our children and our grandchildren.
This is KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth, 660 AM The Answer. This is Bernie Sanders before the Democrat National Convention.
The 40-year decline of our middle class. The reality that 47 million men, women, and children today live in poverty. It is about understanding that if we do not transform our economy, our younger generation will likely have a lower standard of living than their parents. This election is about ending the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in America today. It is not moral, it is not acceptable, and it is not sustainable that the top 0.1% now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Or that the top 1% in recent years has earned 85% of all new income. That is unacceptable. That must change. This election is about remembering where we were 7.5 years ago when President Obama came into office after 8 years of Republican trickle-down economics. The Republicans want us to forget that as a result of the greed, recklessness, and illegal behavior on Wall Street, our economy was in the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. That's where we were. That is where we were. Some 800,000 people a month were losing their jobs. 800,000 people. We were running up a record-breaking deficit of $1.4 trillion. And by the way, the world's financial system was on the verge of collapse. That's where we were when President Obama came into office. Well, we have come a long way in the last 7.5 years, and I thank President Obama and Vice President Biden. I thank them for their leadership in pulling us out of that terrible recession. Yes, we have made progress, but I think we can all agree that much, much more needs to be done. This election is about which candidate understands the real problems facing this country and has offered real solutions. Not just bombast, not just fear-mongering, not just name-calling and divisiveness. We need leadership in this country which will improve the lives of working families, the children, the elderly, the sick, and the poor. We need leadership which brings our people together and makes us stronger. Not leadership which insults Latinos and Mexicans, insults Muslims and women, African Americans and veterans, and seeks to divide us up. By these measures, any objective observer will conclude that based on her ideas and her leadership, Hillary Clinton must become the next president of the United States. The choice This election is about a single mother, a single mom I saw in Nevada, who with tears in her eyes told me she was scared to death about the future because she and her daughter were not making it on the $10.45 an hour she was earning. This election is about that woman and the millions of other workers in this country who are struggling to survive on totally inadequate wages. Hillary Clinton understands that if someone in this country works 40 hours a week, that person should not be living in poverty. She understands that we must raise the minimum wage to a living wage. And she is determined to create millions of new jobs by rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, our roads, bridges, water systems, and wastewater plants. But her opponent, Donald Trump, well, he has a very different point of view. He does not support raising the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, a starvation wage. While Trump believes in huge tax breaks, huge tax breaks for billionaires, he believes that states should actually have the right to lower the minimum wage below $7.25. Brothers and sisters, this election is about overturning Citizens United. Citizens United is one of the worst Supreme Court decisions in the history of our country. That decision allows the wealthiest people in America, like the billionaire Koch brothers, to spend hundreds of millions of dollars buying elections and in the process undermine American democracy. Hillary Clinton will nominate justices to the Supreme Court who are prepared to overturn Citizens United.
You are listening to Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont addressing the Democrat National Convention. Special live coverage of the DNC on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
And end the movement toward oligarchy that we are seeing in this country. Our Supreme Court appointments will also defend a woman's right to choose. Workers' rights, the rights of the LGBT community, the needs of minorities and immigrants, and the government's ability to protect our environment. If you don't believe that this election is important, if you think you can sit it out, take a moment to think about the Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump would nominate. And what that would mean to civil liberties, equal rights, and the future of our country. This election is about the thousands of young people I have met all over this country the thousands that I have met who left college deeply in debt, and tragically, the many others who cannot afford to go to college. During the primary campaign, Secretary Clinton and I both focused on this issue, but with somewhat different approaches. Recently, however, we have come together on a proposal that will revolutionize higher education in America. It will guarantee that the children of any family in this country with an annual income of $125,000 a year or less, 83% of our population will be able to go to a public college or university tuition free. That proposal also substantially reduces student debt. This election is about climate change, the great environmental crisis facing our planet, and the need to leave this world in a way that is healthy and habitable for our children and future generations. Hillary Clinton is listening to the scientists who tell us that unless we act boldly to transform our energy system in the very near future, there will be more drought, more floods, more acidification of the oceans, more rising sea levels. She understands that we can create hundreds of thousands of jobs, transforming our energy system. Donald Trump, well, like most Republicans, he chooses to reject science. He believes that climate change is a hoax, no need to address it. Hillary Clinton understands that a president's job is to worry about future generations, not the profits of the fossil fuel industry. This campaign is about moving the United States toward universal health care. And reducing the number of people who are uninsured or underinsured. Hillary Clinton wants to see that all Americans have the right to choose a public option in their health care exchange. She believes that anyone 55 or older should be able to opt in to Medicare. And she wants to see millions more Americans gain access to primary health care, dental care, mental health counseling, low-cost prescription drugs through a major expansion of community health centers. And what is Donald Trump's position on health care? Well, no surprise there. Same old Republican contempt for working families. He wants to abolish the Affordable Care Act, throw 20 million people off of health insurance, and cut Medicaid for lower-income Americans. Hillary Clinton also understands that millions of seniors, disabled vets, and others are struggling with the outrageously high cost of prescription drugs. And the fact that Americans pay the highest prices in the world for the medicine we use. She knows that Medicare must negotiate drug prices with the pharmaceutical industry. And that drug companies should not be making billions in profit when 1 out of 5 Americans are unable to afford the medicine they need. The greed of the drug companies must end. This election is about the leadership we need to pass comprehensive immigration reform and repair a broken criminal justice system. It's about making sure that young people in this country are in good schools and at good jobs, not rotting in jail cells. Hillary Clinton understands that we have to invest in education and jobs for our young people, not more jails or incarceration. In these stressful times for our country, this election must be about bringing our people together, not dividing us up. While Donald Trump is busy insulting one group after another, Hillary Clinton understands that our diversity is one of our greatest strengths. Yes, we become stronger when black and white, Latino, Asian American, Native American, when all of us stand together. Yes, we become stronger when men and women, young and old, gay and straight, native born and immigrant, fight together to create the kind of country we all know we can become. It is no secret that Hillary Clinton and I disagree on a number of issues. That is what this campaign has been about. That is what democracy is about. So I'm happy to tell you that at the Democratic Platform Committee, there was a significant coming together between the two campaigns, and we produced by far the most progressive platform in the history of the Democratic Party.
Bernie Sanders addressing the Democrat National Convention in Philadelphia on 660 AM The Answer. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Among many, many other strong provisions, the Democratic Party now calls for breaking up the major financial institutions on Wall Street. And the passage of a 21st century Glass-Steagall Act. It also calls for strong opposition to job-killing trade agreements like the TPP. Our job But we have got to make sure that TPP does not get to the floor of the Congress in the lame duck session. Our job now is to see that strong Democratic platform implemented by a Democratic-controlled Senate, by a Democratic House, and a Hillary Clinton presidency. And I am going to do all that I can to make that happen. I have known Hillary Clinton for 25 years. I remember her, as you do, as a great First Lady who broke precedent in terms of the role that a First Lady was supposed to play as she helped lead the fight for universal health care. I served with her in the United States Senate and know her as a fierce advocate for the rights of children, for women, and for the disabled. Hillary Clinton will make an outstanding president, and I am proud to stand with her tonight. Thank you all very much.
Bernie Sanders, leaving. Let me try this one more time. This is Bernie Sanders laying out what he called the most progressive platform in the history of the Democrat Party and the history of any American party. He defined Hillary Clinton as a full-on big government socialist in tonight's speech. There will be no doubt about the fact that in the coming days, Democrat Party officials will have to walk that speech back tremendously. So Bernie Sanders, bit between his teeth, defines the Democrat Party as the new American Socialist Party. By the way, in case you're wondering some of the numbers, on top of $20 trillion of American debt, Bernie Sanders would tax the middle class and also tax stock dividends to pay for all of his socialist ideas to the tune of $15 trillion on top of the $20 trillion we already owe. This is the Wells Report.
The angels from Visiting Angels are standing by to care for the loved ones in your life who need in-home care. If you have a family member or friend who needs assistance at home with hygiene, meals, light housework, errands, or companionship, I hope you'll consider Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care. If you know someone who wants to remain independent, these are the people who can help. Rates are surprisingly affordable, and up to 24-hour in-home care is available. You can even select your caregiver before care begins. Franchise opportunities are also available. With more than 500 franchised locations nationwide, there's an office near you. Call toll-free today at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com. For senior home care from the real-life angels of Visiting Angels, call toll-free 877-374-LIVE. That's Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-600-0738. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-0738. That's 1-800-600-0738. 1-800-600-0738.
Coming to Dallas Sunday night, August 21st. Outcry Summer 2016 Tour, featuring the songs and the sound of Hillsong worship. Plus, Carrie Joe. Featuring Rend Collective, Elevation Worship, and Urban Rescue.
Part of the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series.
An unforgettable night of worship.
The Texas Scorecard, a Texas news magazine for all Texans. News and information about issues facing the Lone Star State from Texans you trust. Get the Texas Scorecard in print. Get it online. Get it in your inbox. Subscribe for free by texting Scorecard to 313131 or visit texasscorecard.com. Someone is always keeping score, and we think it ought to be the taxpayers.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Zero Res. A busy summer means a cleaner house is necessary, so let's get going at 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN for the $33 per room Mark Davis Show carpet cleaning special. Call them. Pre-treated, clean, sanitized, $33 a room. Also, drapes, upholstery, hardwood floors, 214-37-CLEAN. For a Zero Res clean, you also get a $50 gift certificate to Estilo Gaucho Brazilian Steakhouse. So call them. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res.
At Lumber Liquidators, we're kicking off our summer stack-out sale with special deals at every store. Overstock floors, small lots, and more are priced to move. Get unheard-of clearance deals at select stores on 2,000 varieties of pre-finished hardwood from just 59 cents. Special buys like durable strand carbonized bamboo. It's just $169. North American and European laminates up to 20% off, with some deals from just 29 cents. And special financing. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you and get to the summer stack-out sale today.
660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. That was a mistake. What do you do if you are Hillary Clinton right this minute? She's trying to figure out how to walk back most of what Bernie Sanders just said about her. When he went down that litany of, she wants the American people to be able to let the government handle their health care. Her team is trying to figure out just exactly how she's supposed to handle the questions about how the health care at the VA is working. How 307 million veterans died waiting for health care at the hands of government health care that Bernie Sanders says Hillary Clinton wants everybody to be able to opt into. How are they going to walk back the fact that the programs that Bernie just talked about were going to cost $15 trillion on top of $20 trillion in debt that there is no plan to pay? How are they going to do that? They pushed Bernie Sanders to the very back of the line in tonight's program at the Democrat National Convention. It's 11:30 on the East Coast. And described virtually everything in the leftist progressive handbook to take over the lives of the American people. Now, there is something that is good. You didn't hear as many boos as I was sure you were going to be able to hear when Bernie Sanders started talking about supporting Hillary Clinton. That was one high point if you're a Politico that makes a difference. More about that in a minute. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Ever notice that the last three letters in American spell can? Maybe that's why we want to say we can shop online, we can use free Wi-Fi, and we can give our social security number and other personal information to our bank if we want to. But the fact that we can do all of those things exposes personal information that can lead to identity theft. At LifeLock, we believe you have the right to be free to do everything you do every day. So we use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a huge variety of identity threats. And we have a US-based team who will work to resolve issues if your identity ever is stolen. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you can live with more peace of mind. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And if you become a LifeLock member now, you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS. LifeLock.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,800 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Ask the Expert. We're with Jay Peak, speaker, author, financial educator. Jay, you recently co-authored a book with international writer and business coach Brian Tracy. Can you tell us a little bit more about the book and who it's for?
Yeah, absolutely. I co-authored the book for everybody curious about safe money strategies. And, the book is a great way for our clients to learn more about our philosophies and to see if we're really a good fit for them.
And how can people get this book?
Well, for everybody listening today, they can go to our website at peakfinancialcorporation.com and request a free copy of my national selling book, or they can call us at 844-J-PEAK. That's 844-529-7325.
Everyone really can benefit from this book. It's called Success Today. You could go online to peakfinancialcorporation.com and you'll get a free copy of it, or you could call 844-529-7325. That's 844-JAYPEAK. That's going to do it. Make sure to keep listening for the next episode of Ask the Expert.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. What a first day. Man, oh man. Let's talk a little bit about what happened today at the Democrat National Convention. First of all, WikiLeaks dumps all these emails from the DNC leadership, and so Debbie Wasserman Schultz is gone. She got fired today. She's going to wait until after the convention to make it official, but she's out of here. Earlier today, they booed her right off the stage. Now, I'm sure that those were Sanders supporters. I'm sure that's the case. But the simple case of the matter is Debbie Wasserman Schultz cooked the books. And Bernie Sanders capitulated just as he should have done, just as the Democrat Party needed him to do. So much for leftist progressive socialism. At least from a high practitioner of the art. Now what we'll do is we'll turn it over to Hillary, and all the money that was raised, all the money that sits in Bernie Sanders' coffers, all that money wasted. All that work wasted. All those people he thanked at the beginning of his speech wasted their time. Did you happen to notice what was missing in both of the speeches from Michelle Obama and Bernie Sanders? Cory Booker even. Did you happen to notice what was missing? What are we going to do about ISIS? It's like suddenly ISIS doesn't exist. The war on terrorism, gone. The military is smaller now than it was before the Second World War. No statements on how to rebuild it. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Keep trusting the Transportation Security Administration to get it right? That's what we're going to do? Keep trusting the government of the United States to be able to import all these people and not import terrorists with them. Is that correct? That's what we're going to do? It may be cool not to have to pay for your college education. But as you walk across the quad in your defenselessness zone and you're blown to pieces by a suicide bomber, just exactly what good is that degree now? The Washington Post writes this. It had been an open secret for some time. One of the weakest elements of the extended Democrat Party family under President Obama has been the Democrat National Committee. This neglected institution has become a public embarrassment on the eve of the National Convention. The cascade of internal DNC emails released by Wikileaks underscores what Senator Bernie Sanders and his advisors have long claimed. The DNC had its finger on the scales for Hillary Clinton throughout the long nominating contest. Emails also paint a picture that confirms what has long been assumed, that the DNC more or less isolated from key elements of the party, including the White House, and left to the devices of Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, its long-standing chair. Her swift resignation under pressure from Clinton's team moves her out of the way, but the potential for more embarrassing emails being released this week and beyond remains. By the way, Democrat National Committee staffers mocked Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz over her lack of policy knowledge and tendency to show up late. When DNC fundraising staffers scheduled her to address a fundraising event held by a trade association of nurses, Wasserman Schultz's assistant complained that she was not familiar enough with measures to combat the Zika virus, which she expected to be brought up at the event. Shouldn't a Florida representative know about the Zika virus? Come on. Realistically, she'll come 45 minutes late anyway and leave in 5 minutes. By the way, what happened to her? Where is she going to go now? What's her next assignment? That's right. She's going to go immediately to work on the Hillary Clinton campaign. By the way, in case you're wondering, the truth now told, aides to President Barack Obama urged him to get rid of Debbie Wasserman Schultz last fall. He said, no, she'll be Hillary Clinton's problem to solve. Problem solved. And then there's this. Fortune magazine. Hillary Clinton is thanking her longtime friend, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, after the Florida Congresswoman's decision to step down as chair of the Democrat National Committee. Clinton says that Wasserman Schultz will serve as honorary chair of her campaign's 50-state program to help elect Democrats around the country. Great. Can you imagine those Democrat candidates looking forward to seeing Debbie Wasserman Schultz show up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be good. But then again, maybe she won't have to worry about it that much after all. She was supposed to easily win a 7th House term in November until she crossed paths with Bernie Sanders, which resulted in a cascade of criticism and embarrassments that now includes an email expose that could upend her reelection bid. Even after Wasserman Schultz announced her abrupt resignation on the eve of the Democrat convention, the Florida Congresswoman faced a mounting political headache back home. Tim Canova is her Democrat primary challenger. He's been playing up to the fallout of the DNC after leaked emails revealed an apparent anti-Bernie Sanders bias inside the soon-to-be ex-chairwoman's shop. Canova writes, she's resigned her chair from the DNC. She no longer has any excuses not to debate me. DWS, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, must be defeated this election and removed from Congress. It's time to end her political career for good. She's now planning to return to Florida from the Philadelphia convention, and she's going to do whatever she can to save her political seat. Good heavens. And the rest of this is just plain terrible. Unbelievable. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Then you have Bernie Sanders painting the party's standard bearer as a full-on big government socialist. So everything that he worked for, trying to turn this country into a country that is on the slow boat to ruin, he has now laid in the lap of Hillary Clinton. She's got to be thrilled about that. Strangely enough, you know who's not going to show up at the Democrat convention? Al Gore. Al Gore is not going to show up. Why? Well, every time he goes to Washington, a blizzard shows up. He doesn't want to deal with the embarrassment. Hillary Clinton, for her part in all of this, is continuing to try to do her very best to keep the ball rolling. And it may not be possible. It may not be possible for her to do any of that. Let me explain. In her first joint appearance since the announcement of the full Democrat ticket, presumptive Democrat nominee Hillary Clinton and her running mate, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, were interviewed by Scott Pelley from CBS News. The issue of the Benghazi terror attacks were discussed. What is your responsibility for Benghazi? Did you make any mistakes around that? Clinton responded by saying she did take responsibility as she was Secretary of State and looked into really what happened, not what people have claimed in the media or on Capitol Hill or in books or by eyewitness testimony or by reality in every possible direction in every possible state. She said she looked into what could be done to prevent another Benghazi at our various diplomatic missions around the world. I guess she actually did take a look at what needed to happen so that this kind of stuff wouldn't happen again, and then took an appropriate step to stop it. She quit. Yes, she was the problem, and to solve the problem, all you really had to do was get her out of the office of Secretary of State. See? I solved the problem. Clinton cited precedent in Congress that the government administration coming together to find such solutions, citing the 1983 Beirut bombings of the U.S. Marine Corps barrack by Hezbollah. Instead, she noted how the proceedings became overly politicized. The former First Lady mentioned she set up an independent committee made of distinguished Americans and civilian experts who pointed out that the ball was dropped on security and that some decisions that were made should have been reconsidered. Pelley says, wasn't that your ball to carry? Hillary says, no, it wasn't. It wasn't my ball to carry. It was, read the reports, many hundreds of pages of them, including the latest one, which was a political exercise from the very beginning. Those never reached me. Those never came to my attention. Because during the meeting that you were chairing, the 5.5-hour one, the first 2.5 hours were spent trying to figure out what the political ramifications of sending someone in to rescue the ambassador would be, Madam Secretary. Terrible. Terrible. Hillary Clinton felt sad watching a Republican National Convention that was mostly about criticizing me, she said. I seem to be the only unifying theme that they had. The presumptive Democrat nominee said there was no positive agenda. It was a very dark, divisive campaign. And the people who were speaking were painting a picture of our country I did not recognize. Negative, scapegoating, fear, bigotry, smears. I was just so saddened by it. Madam Secretary, the 72% of the American people believe this nation is on the wrong track. It may indeed be dark and divisive, but only divisive to those people in the Democrat Party that have tried to splinter this country for political opportunity. It's like you were asleep for the last 8 years and you suddenly woke up to realize that the country was in serious, serious trouble. And now what you're trying to say is that the messenger's wrong. Yeah, that's the problem. You see, it isn't the policies. It isn't what we've been doing. It's the people who are pointing out that what you've been doing has damaged the country, maybe beyond repair. You see, that's the darkness. That's the apocalyptic version or vision of America. Scapegoating. Oh, nobody in Hillary Clinton's campaign ever scapegoated anybody. Oh, no. Yeah. She complained of a Hillary standard, suggesting she faces more scrutiny than other top-level politicians. I often feel there's the Hillary standard, and then there's the standard for everybody else. Clinton cited, after she was asked to explain, unfounded, inaccurate, mean-spirited attacks with no basis in truth that take on a life of their own. This according to Republican criticism at the party convention last week. Well, thankfully, I might just be able to help the secretary, the presidential candidate, understand the unfounded, inaccurate, mean-spirited attacks with no basis in truth. Sadly, they do have a basis in truth. And unfortunately, USA Today wrote about them. And we're going to talk about it in just a couple of minutes. There may indeed be a Hillary standard, a standard for someone who wants to be the president of the United States to look straight into the camera and into the eyes of the American people and lie like there's no tomorrow. This is the Wells Report.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Patriot Mobile. It's certainly a year of decision. Maybe this is a day of decision for you. The day you decide to stop doing business with cell companies that do business with Hillary Clinton. Big mobile companies I could name funnel your money to her for president. If you'd like to stop that, switch to Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com for more info. Same quality of service, better prices, support better causes. At Patriot Mobile, join the revolution. Here's the special, free Samsung Galaxy S7. It's new, it's great. Samsung Galaxy S7 free, unlimited talk, text, and data for just $70. Mention or enter promo code MARK at checkout, and they'll waive activation fees for up to 2 lines. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Also, we'll throw in a free signed copy by me of Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. Just a little thanks from me for doing business with my friends at Patriot Mobile. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. Same quality of service, better prices, support better causes. Join the revolution, patriotmobile.com.
Imagine someone stealing your home without even breaking in. Think it's not possible? Think again. Have you or your aging parents already fallen victim to deed fraud, known as house stealing? The FBI is calling house stealing the fastest growing white-collar crime in America. The scariest part, most people have no idea their home title was transferred, often to a person the homeowner knows and trusts, like a caregiver or family member. Now, there is a fraud alert service where homeowners and their loved ones can check risk-free that they're not already a victim. It's called HomeTitleLock.com, and it also alerts you if someone may be trying to scam you out of your home. Try Home Title Lock Monitoring risk-free today and receive your home's title history, a $59 value, absolutely free. Beat fraud is increasingly targeting seniors. Protect your biggest asset and don't lose your family home forever. To make sure you're not already a victim, go to HomeTitleLock.com. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet, Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Learn more at goodfeetdfw.com. Learn about arch supports that actually work. Good Feet is America's #1 arch support for over 20 years, and they've got arch supports designed to get people out of pain wearing all kinds of shoes, athletic shoes, casual shoes, dress shoes, men, women, flip-flops. Come on, they're discreet supports that won't be noticed in your fanciest open-style shoes. They're designed to make all shoes more comfortable for the ladies and the gentlemen. Get you out of pain today. That's what they do at Good Feet. Visit the website at goodfeetdfw.com. Set up an appointment today. Visit one of the stores, Southlake, Plano, Fort Worth. They'll follow up with you, make sure everything's going exactly right to get you out of pain, walking, working, vacationing the way you want. goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com. They are in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, and always there for you online to answer all your questions at goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. America's #1 arch support, goodfeetdfw.com.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years. Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful, the Farewell Tour, 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th. Gateway Church. Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at premierproductions.com. Don't wait, this concert is selling fast. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
It's National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom.com, so it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Very much interested in hearing what you have to say. What do you think about the Democrats and what they said tonight? What will they say tomorrow night? Who's going to be talking tomorrow night? So, yeah, Bill Clinton is going to speak tomorrow night, the last real Democrat president of the United States. So we'll probably cover that speech. I wonder if they'll make him wait until 11:30. And then, of course, Tim Kaine and then Hillary Clinton. Big headaches tonight for the Democrat Party. Bernie Sanders, and they probably moved him to the back of the program because of the speech. Because Bernie Sanders made no bones about the fact that Hillary Clinton is a big government socialist. He kept defining her thing after thing after thing. Statement after statement after statement. Project after project after tax increase, after government control of healthcare, after on and on and on. Oh, goodness. 866-660-5759. I'll tell you. You know, Bernie Sanders may have been able to get out of this with more of his credibility intact than I thought was possible. But he also may have just ended the presidential aspirations of Hillary Clinton. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
It's National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom.com. So it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
At Lumber Liquidators, we're kicking off our summer stack-out sale with special deals at every store. Overstock floors, small lots, and more are priced to move. Get unheard-of clearance deals at select stores on 2,000 varieties of pre-finished hardwood from just 59 cents. Special buys like durable strand carbonized bamboo. It's just $169. North American and European laminate up to 20% off, with some deals from just 29 cents. And special financing. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you and get to the summer stack-out sale today.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Bernie Sanders supporters not giving up the fight at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, protesting inside and outside the Wells Fargo Center. Minnesota Senator Al Franken urging delegates to work to put Hillary Clinton in the White House.
Get on those phones, knock on those doors, and tell them Al Franken sent you.
More than 50 people have been cited for disorderly conduct after trying to climb barricades. 19 people are dead, dozens wounded after a knife attack at a facility for the handicapped outside Tokyo. A man who claims responsibility turns himself in. Officials say he's a former employee of that facility. Authorities in Germany say the Syrian man who set off a suicide bomb last night outside a wine bar had left behind a cell phone video in which he pledged allegiance to ISIS. The bomber was the only one killed, 15 others wounded. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Imagine something a little bit down the road. You're setting up your fantasy football team. Here comes the season. But you can't really see the screen on the computer or your phone or tablet. Are you going to let your buddy see you pull out those reading glasses you've been borrowing from the wife? How lame is that? Don't give away your man card just yet. Call the folks at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Schedule a free consultation to see if you're a candidate for the corneal inlay procedure. Treat that over 40 vision thing.
I'm not. It's not that I'm not angry at you. Okay. Dinesh D'Souza.
No.
Okay, what?
I want to promo the DNC and how it's falling apart, and then we're going to cover Bill Clinton's speech. That's what I. If you want to do Dinesh D'Souza, that's fine. He's scheduled for 8:30.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Either one is fine with me. Do Dinesh D'Souza.
Okay.
That's what you wanted to do, and that is a fine promo. I was telling you what I wanted to do. What happens if we work together? This is a team thing.
Okay. All right. The Democrats have taken the stage in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the Democrats have taken the stage in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the Wells Report is all over it. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to be covering more of the Democrat National Convention with keynote speaker Bill Clinton. He will lead the lineup. He will lead the lineup all evening long, and we'll bring it to you. No. The Democrats have taken the stage in Philadelphia, and we're covering it like a blanket. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we'll bring you day 2 of the Democrat National Convention in Philadelphia. President Bill Clinton will be the speaker, and we will cover his speech. What else is going to happen on what has turned out to be what else is going to happen in what has turned out to be a fractious and fragmenting Democrat National Convention? We'll tell you that too on the next edition of the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Mark Davis, good morning, my friend. Mark Davis, good Tuesday morning, my friend. What a day for the Democrats. This is something they're going to try to wash out of their hair tonight. I'm not sure they're going to be successful. What other fractious and fragmenting things can happen to this convention that got off to a terrible start with Democrat Party leadership saying, see ya, and then the rest becoming, and then the nightmare of Bernie Sanders defining, and then the nightmare of Bernie Sanders defining Hillary, and then the nightmare of Bernie Sanders defining Hillary Clinton as a full-on big government socialist. And then Bernie Sanders, what did I say? And then or with Bernie Sanders? Shoot. Let me start over. I forgot what I was saying. Mark Davis, good Tuesday morning, my brother. Thanks very much for this opportunity to come by. What is the next thing that's going to happen in a fractured and Mark Davis, thanks very much for letting me come by and say hello. Thank you very much. Mark Davis, thank you very much for letting me come by and say hello. The next edition of the Wells Report will feature what else could possibly happen at the fractured and fragmented Democrat National Convention. If it isn't the Democrat National Committee headquarters falling apart at the seams. Mark Davis, thanks very much for letting me come by and say hello on this edition of the Mark Davis broadcast. Coming up a little bit later on in the Wells Report, we're going to spend some more time talking about the Democrat National Convention, the fractured and fragmented party that got together last night with Yes. Mark Davis, thank you very much for letting me come by and say good morning, sir. Coming up later on in the Wells Report, we're going to talk about the nightmare of the Democrat National Convention last night. The fractured and fragmented party, without its leadership, found itself in a position where they were just trying to keep things rolling. If it wasn't for Deborah Wasserman Schultz being booed off the stage, it was Bernie Sanders painting Hillary Clinton as a full-on socialist. It was Bernie Sanders painting Hillary Clinton as a full-on, gosh dang it. Bernie Sanders painting Hillary Clinton as a full-on big government socialist. We'll bring you the very latest on the next edition of the Wells Report.
That's Walgreens and Amazon.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. And I was saying that Hillary Clinton has huge problems in trying to make herself the president of the United States. She was talking with Scott Pelley on a 60 Minutes interview about the Hillary standard. She said that there were unfounded, inaccurate, mean-spirited attacks with no basis in truth that take on a life of their own. Really? Really, Madam Secretary? Well, let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? Your emails stored on a private server against United States federal law. At the State Department's request, you turned over 30,490 work-related emails. You deleted 31,830 emails that you deemed personal, that the FBI said had government information all through them. Clinton said she fully complied with every rule she was governed by in preserving her emails. Not true. The Office of the Inspector General said that Clinton should have surrendered all work-related emails before leaving government. And by not doing so, she didn't comply with the Federal Records Act. She claimed that the vast majority of her work emails went to government employees at their government addresses, which meant they were captured and preserved immediately by the State Department. The department's IG report said that's not an appropriate method for preserving any such emails that would constitute a federal record. Clinton said that she made a decision to use a personal email account exclusively for government business. It was allowed and permitted by the State Department. The IG report cited department policies dating to 2005 that require normal day-to-day operations to be conducted on government servers. The IG report also said Clinton, who was Secretary of State from January 2009 to February 2013, had an obligation to discuss her email system with security and information technology officials. She did not, and had she done so, the request would have been denied. Hillary Clinton made it very, very clear that she had indeed gotten the permission of State Department officials. She did not. Clinton said turning over to my server to the government showed that I had been as transparent as I could about her emails. But she did so in the August of 2015 after the FBI opened an investigation. And after she had wiped the server. Why she wasn't immediately arrested for obstruction of justice, I have no idea. Clinton said the previous secretaries of state did the same thing in using personal emails for government business. The State Department has said that only Colin Powell used a personal email account for official business. Powell did not use a private server. In addition, the IG report said the rules governing personal email and the use of non-government systems were considerably more detailed and more sophisticated during Clinton's tenure, making comparisons to her predecessors invalid. Clinton has repeatedly denied mishandling classified information. At a March 10th, 2015 press conference, he said, "I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material." FBI Director James Comey said the FBI found 2,000 of the 30,490 emails that Clinton turned over to the State Department contained classified information, including 110 emails that contained classified information at the time they were sent or received. In addition, FBI recovered several thousand emails that Clinton did not turn over to the State Department, including 3 that had classified material. Finally, Comey said 3 emails had portion markings that indicated the presence of classified information, although the State Department has since said that at least 2 of them were marked in error. Clinton said her lawyers went through every single email on her private server to determine which ones were personal and which ones were work-related, and that they were overly inclusive in which ones they provided to the State Department. Comey said lawyers did not go through every email. They used header information and search terms. Clinton has falsely claimed that Trump cited hosting the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow when asked about his foreign policy experience. She was referring to a Trump interview with Fox News anchor Bret Baier. But Baier never asked Trump for an example of his foreign policy experience. Baier asked Trump whether he had talked to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump refused to answer, went on to say that I know Russia well because he had a major event in Russia 2 or 3 years ago, referring to the pageant. Clinton recently repeated the false claim, saying Trump says that he's qualified to be a commander-in-chief because he took Miss Universe to Moscow. At a campaign rally in Kentucky, Clinton said that she had read that Trump wants to abolish the VA. That claim, which Clinton said she did not verify, was based on a Wall Street Journal article that said Trump's campaign co-chair and chief policy advisor indicated that Trump would likely push VA health care toward privatization and might move for it to become more of an insurance provider like Medicare rather than an integrated hospital system. But the same policy advisor told the paper that Trump doesn't want to take away any veterans' hospitals and the things that are working well. In fact, in a speech last year, Trump said, "I don't want to get rid of it," when talking about the Department of Veterans Affairs and its healthcare system. Clinton also went too far in a CBS News interview where she claimed that Trump would pull out of NATO. Trump has said that he would certainly look at pulling the United States out of the International Security Alliance because it's obsolete. It's costing us a fortune. But the Clinton campaign provided nothing indicating that Trump advocates pulling out now. In a speech criticizing Trump, Clinton again twisted the Republican nominee's words when she claimed that he said women will start making equal pay as soon as we do as good a job as men. Trump doesn't support equal pay legislation, but has said that he believes in paying people based on performance rather than gender. And oh, by the way, the female executives in the Trump organization make more money than their male counterparts. Regarding guns, pushing for changes to background checks, she falsely claimed the FBI needed just one more day to stop Dylan Roof from being able to purchase the handgun that he allegedly used to kill 9 people at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. One more day wouldn't have mattered in the case. The FBI director said the clerical errors led to Roof being able to legally purchase the gun in April of 2015, that the FBI did not confirm the sale shouldn't have been allowed until after the shooting 2 months later. Healthcare. Clinton at a Democrat debate claimed that private insurance premiums have gone up so much in some states that didn't expand Medicaid because hospitals shifted the costs for providing emergency care for the uninsured. In doing so, she was singling out Republican-controlled states. There is no evidence to support that claim. Experts disagree on whether such cost shifting even occurs. A Clinton TV ad made the misleading claim that in the last 7 years, drug prices have doubled. To support that claim, her campaign cited a report that brand name drug prices on average have more than doubled in that time. But more than 80% of filled prescriptions are for generic drugs, the prices of which have declined by nearly 63%, according to the very same report. During another Democrat debate, Clinton defended the Affordable Care Act by saying we have now driven costs down to the lowest they've been in 50 years. Instead of going down, costs have continued to increase, although at historically low rates. Also, economists say the cause of the slowdown was mainly the economy, not the actions of politicians in the Affordable Care Act. Further, costs, premiums, and deductibles have gone through the roof. You're paying $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 if you're a family of 4, and your out-of-pocket expenses have more than doubled, which means that you're now paying $20,000 for your health insurance instead of $14,000 or $13,000. It's ridiculous. Clinton claimed a recent study showed that white middle-aged Americans without high school education are dying earlier than their parents and their grandparents. The study found an increased mortality rate since 1999 among middle-aged white Americans with a high school degree or less, not just those whose did not have a high school education. And it made no comparison with past generations. Princeton economist Angus Deaton, Angus Deaton, co-author of that study, told us the work doesn't establish any of what she says. Clinton has continued to make variations of the false statement that Americans haven't had a raise in 10 years. The latest from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that average weekly earnings for production and non-supervisory employees have actually gone up 9% since January of 2001. Clinton has repeatedly made the claim the U.S. economy does better when a Democrat president is in the White House, citing research by 2 Princeton economists who do not credit Democrat fiscal policies for the economic growth. In addition, Clinton has wrongly said the average American CEO makes 300 times more than the typical American worker. Clinton was referring to a study that looked at the pay disparity between CEOs and average workers only at the top 350 companies. That's a small fraction of the 246,240 chief executives in the U.S., who on average earn far less than the average CEO at the biggest 350 firms. Arguing that she's been tough on Wall Street, Clinton falsely said that she is the only candidate in the presidential campaign on either side who's been attacked in advertising funded by Wall Street financiers and hedge fund managers. Actually, several candidates have been the target of ads funded by those parts of the financial industry. Trump appeared at the time to be the top target. Prior to that, Clinton said the Wall Street guys are trying hard to stop me, but Clinton and political action committees support her have raised more than $39 million from Wall Street workers in the securities and investment industry, the most of any candidate. Clinton distorted the facts when she claimed that Bernie Sanders took $200,000 from Wall Street firms. Through the Democrat Senatorial Campaign Committee, the DSCC did provide $200,000 to support Sanders' 2006 Senate race, and the DSCC did receive $10 million from the Political Action Committee and the employees of companies in two financial industries, securities and investments, and commercial banks. But the DSCC also received $2 million in that campaign cycle from Clinton's PAC, Friends of Hillary. By Clinton's logic, Sanders took $2,000 from the Friends of Hillary. There's more. These are the things that Hillary Clinton is getting wrong in her campaign. These people at the Democrat National Convention, they're talking about how climate change is going to kill us all. You're not going to believe the latest crazy stupidness from John Kerry on that subject. But what they're saying is that people who do not believe this drivel coming out of the corrupt science community as being corrupt drivel from the science community, they're trying to say that they're scientific non-believers. Unbelievable. You're listening to the Wells Report. I'll tell you why it's unbelievable next. Don't move.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Imagine something a little bit down the road. You're setting up your fantasy football team. Here comes the season, but you can't really see the screen on the computer or your phone or tablet. Are you going to let your buddy see you pull out those reading glasses you've been borrowing from the wife? How lame is that? Don't give away your man card just yet. Call the folks at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Schedule a free consultation to see if you're a candidate for the corneal inlay procedure. Treat that over 40 vision thing we all know about. We both know your vision isn't going to miraculously get better. We can't turn back the actual clock. We can help you see the way you used to. Come on, 1-800-714-2020. Find the readers and find the phone. 1-800-714-2020. Take 5 minutes, get your questions answered, or visit myinlay.com. Health savings accounts, they'll take them. Flex plans, affordable financing, 1-800-714-2020 or myinlay.com. Climate Evangelista Eye Center, myinlay.com, 1-800-714-2020.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of the online program like mine from Nashville.
I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and ViaScan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At Viascan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
QL1, this is Control, checking in to see how excited you are for launch. Over? Well, actually, Control, I'm kind of bored. I think you cut out, QL1. It sounded like you said you were bored. That's affirmative, Control. You're about to travel 17,000 miles per hour through Earth's atmosphere, and you're bored? It just doesn't sound that exciting after using Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. I was able to get a completely online custom mortgage approval in minutes. All right, you cut out for sure this time. Did you say I can get a mortgage approval in minutes? That's right, Control. Minutes. Whether you're purchasing a new house or refinancing your existing home, Rocket Mortgage securely pulls your pay stubs and bank statements to build you a custom mortgage solution so you get exactly what you want. Wow, that is exciting. Yep, definitely better than months of dehydrated ice cream and powdered orange drink. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket.
Visit for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
If you're looking for quality bedding at the best value, listen up.
I love getting a bargain as much as the next person, but there are some things I'm willing to spend the extra money on, and my bedding is at the top of that list. I used to think, what does it matter? I'm sleeping anyway. But once I tried theCompanyStore.com, I got it. It was just a whole new level of comfort I didn't know existed. See, the Company Store has been around for over 100 years, so they've really perfected what it takes to make the finest quality bedding, and other home goods too, all for the best price. They're not trying to be the cheapest. You get what you pay for. They're the best value, and there's a difference. They believe in using natural products and only the best cotton. So they not only set the bar for comfort, they last.
See the quality for yourself. Visit theCompanyStore.com and try any of our products risk-free. Log on now, enter the code VALUE, and get 15% off your order plus free shipping. TheCompanyStore.com. We're all about comfort.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. It's getting so far out of hand for Hillary Clinton that USA Today has put 6 pages of false and misleading claims coming from the Hillary Clinton campaign in one article. Okay? It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. What she's been talking about, I went through all the ones that I've, guns, healthcare, Wall Street, the economy, now science. Clinton was flat out wrong when she told Good Morning America town hall participant that you can't do any research about marijuana because it's a Schedule I drug. What? You can conduct research on any substance you want to in America as long as, well, Hillary's not in charge or any of the rest of the progressive left. Clinton was also off at another interview when she said late-term abortions are because of medical necessity. That gave the impression that most, if not all, late-term abortions are medically necessary. The data that exists on the topic does not support that claim, which is horrifying. Foreign policy. Clinton claimed that government investigations into terror attacks on U.S. diplomatic facilities in Benghazi concluded nobody did anything wrong at the State Department. An independent board found the systemic failures in leadership and management deficiencies at senior levels. 4 State Department employees were placed on administrative leave on the day the report came out. A bipartisan Senate report said the department officials ignored increasingly dangerous threat assessments that indicated Benghazi was particularly vulnerable. That report said the department should have increased security or closed or temporarily shut down its Benghazi mission, calling the decision to leave the facility open a grievous mistake. A TV ad from the Clinton campaign said she was responsible for securing a massive reduction in nuclear weapons as Secretary of State. That's an overstatement. The agreement, known as New START, does not require the U.S. or Russia to destroy nuclear warheads or reduce their nuclear stockpile, nor does it place limits on short-range nuclear weapons. Besides, Russia was below the limit for deployed strategic long-range nuclear warheads when the treaty took effect in 2011, and has increased the number of effective warheads since then. More than once, Clinton revised history. She claimed that she had hoped that the Trans-Pacific Partnership would be a gold standard of trade agreements. What Clinton originally said in 2012 was that TPP sets the gold standard in trade agreements to open free, transparent, fair trade, the kind of environment that the rule of law and a level playing that has the rule of law and a level playing field. Unflipping believable. President Obama said today that he's clear-eyed about her strengths and weaknesses, but there's no candidate in modern history who's been more prepared than her to be president. You know, we don't go vacationing together. I think that's pretty clear-eyed sense of both, and I think I've got a pretty clear-eyed sense of both her strengths and weaknesses. And what I would say would be that somebody who knows as much about domestic and foreign policy as anyone, is tough as nails, motivated by what's best for American ordinary people, understands this democracy is what is in this democracy that we have, things that don't always happen as fast as we'd like. But she's not always flashy, said the president, and there are better speech makers. Thanks, Mr. President. Thanks a lot. Yep. Is there more? Of course there's more. And I will tell you what it is coming up in just a couple of moments. Yeah, this is going to be a rough and tumble election. There's no doubt about it. We got more, including the very latest on Ted Cruz, right around the corner on 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Prager addresses the Black Lives Matter group.
So here's an announcement for all my black listeners. 99% of whites in America want you to do well. End of issue. Just thought you ought to know. The left lies about America so much, and the cops are racist is the latest hysteria. The left is morally bankrupt since its inception.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Let's talk about service techs that are really just salesmen in disguise. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls, and the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission, and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, you can get $3,500 off with Carrier's Cool Cash, plus $1,800 off from your utility provider. That's saving over $5,000 on a new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. So call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Nothing interrupts a productive day like feeling worn out, and nothing interrupts a good night's sleep like snoring. It's not just your other half who feels the pain.
Honey, roll over!
Snoring and sleep apnea leave you tired during the day and increase your risk for health problems. Isn't it time to shut down snoring for good? Simple Sleep Services has the solution that really works without painful surgery, creepy CPAP machines, or bulky masks. Just a comfortable custom mouthpiece. And Simple Sleep's provided more in 5 years than anyone in the U.S. It's covered by medical insurance, and there's no pain or downtime. With Simple Sleep, you'll have more energy every day and more restful relaxation at night.
Honey, roll over.
Visit our full service centers in Dallas and Fort Worth, online at simplesleepservices.com, or call us at 469-685-1700. Simple Sleep, 469-685-1700.
simplesleepservices.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work and getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one size fits most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
It's National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom.com, so it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. What has Mark Davis got planned for us tomorrow? I bet you I know. Let's find out. Mark, tell us.
Hey, JD, good Monday evening. It is important for Republicans to pay attention to the Democrats as they convene. Their messaging, their imagery, it's what we're up against. So on our Tuesday show, tomorrow morning, we'll see how it all went when Bernie spoke, when the delegates tried to seem enthusiastic about Hillary, and how the adoring media culture covered it all. This, of course, plus any late-breaking overnight news. I'll be ready. Come join us tomorrow morning, Mark Davis Show, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m., The Answer.
All right, then. So let me give you this incredible information. Do we have that sound, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to hear this. You got to hear this. Okay. Now, what you may not remember is that years and years and years ago, the idea that we were about to make hot air an existential threat for humanity. Okay? It began with something called the ozone hole. You see, back in the day, and by the way, if there's anybody out there that does heating and air conditioning for a living, if I get any of this wrong, would you do me a favor and call me at 866-660-5759 and tell me? You see, back in the olden days, they decided that what they needed to do was they needed to make people less comfortable. And so, in order to make people less comfortable, they did a few things. First, they started putting pressure on the amount of electricity that was available for any given marketplace. For example, remember you used to get this warning twice a year like clockwork? You needed to ration your electricity because there was such a demand on the grid that we may run out. of electricity and you have to use less, turn your thermostats up. Or if it was winter time, turn your thermostats down. Because you see, either would be caused by climate change in the great lexicon of foolish idiocy. Yes, exactly. Anyway, it's cold as ice. Get it? By foreigner. Strange that there are so many foreign governments involved in this. Anyway, the way this works is this. You either have electricity or you don't. There is no shortage of electricity. It's either on or it's not on. If there is an overload of the electrical grid, it's because the people running the electrical grid did not allow for enough electricity to be used. That was a decision they made. It had nothing to do with whether or not there was available electricity. They would say, we're going to run out of electricity. We have to buy more expensive electricity from some other place. And therefore, your bill would go up, trying to create some sort of bogus notion that there was a shortage of electricity. No, if there's a shortage of electricity, it's because the companies like ERCOT just simply wouldn't generate enough electricity. And they forced the public to live a more uncomfortable life because of it. In fact, they put meters on your house so they could run your electricity against your will by remote control. I, your helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent announcer, called ERCOT on the telephone numerous times and said, so basically what you're saying is that you're incompetent. What? Yeah, you're not allowing for enough electricity generation. Is that right? And every time ERCOT comes up with one of these things, we're about to run out of electricity, I call them on the phone again and remind them of the conversation that we had about the fact that it was bogus and poppycock. Isn't it strange that up until then, all of these generation companies would take down their electric generating plants for maintenance right in the middle of the moment when anybody could tell you that it was going to be hot? It'll happen again. Pay very close attention. So after that sort of worked a little bit, but not really a lot, then they started making enemies out of air conditioning units themselves. These air conditioning units use Freon. And you know what? Crazily enough, it's creating a hole in the ozone over the South Pole. And you know what that means. Well, actually, it means absolutely nothing because nobody lives on the South Pole. If you were living on the... Yeah. If you're living on the South Pole, you could get a much worse sunburn. If you were stupid enough to wander around in the South Pole when it was 30 degrees below zero in the dead of summer with your skin exposed. By the way, you'll be happy to know that they currently did an examination of the ozone hole, and it is repairing itself. Do you know why? Well, because they did the actual measurement of the ozone layer over the South Pole during the summertime, where the sun interacts with the atmosphere on a more regular basis. You see, in the wintertime, there's not as much sunlight. It takes sunlight and oxygen to make ozone, you see. And so when the South Pole is in darkness, there's less ozone. So what ended up happening is we have to get rid of Freon because it's killing the ozone hole. Then we have to have this new stuff, whatever it is Blenon or blotophone or whatever the hell they call it. I don't know what it is. It's R23. Is that what it is now? I don't know what it is. Well, you see, here's what happened.
Let's carry on.
Yes, there you go. No, it's Blatheron. That's what it was. I'm sorry. The new chemical that they created, which of course was a lot more expensive and was a lot less efficient, was called Blatheron, as opposed to Freon, or maybe expensive on, or pile on, as a cost standpoint, whatever. So they came up with this treaty that says, well, everybody on Earth has to fall in line with this. If we're going to piss off everyone, we might as well make sure that everybody in the world shares in the discomfort, in the misery. Well, it's time for us to redo that treaty. And that means that they're going to have to figure out some way of coming up with something to replace the 1987 Montreal Protocol that would have phased out hydrofluorocarbons, or HFCs, from the basic household and commercial applications like air conditioners, refrigerators, and inhalers. And that is where Secretary of Dumb John Kerry is right now. He's in Vienna working with those people to come up with a replacement for the 1987 Montreal Protocol that would phase out hydrofluorocarbons, or HFCs. And by the way, they're also working on a treaty that would get rid of all cooked chicken, KFCs. Okay, that's not true. Just saying. Anyway, so he's at a conference. Secretary of State John Kerry is at a conference where they're trying to figure out how to get rid of air conditioners and refrigerators because they are as big a threat to life as the threat of terrorism. Yeah. You're going to be killed to death by your air conditioner and your refrigerator.
Are you going to freeze to death?
No, you're not going to freeze to death because they're going to get rid of your refrigerator and your air conditioner. You're going to have to sweat to death. You see, you cannot have anybody get excited about global warming unless they're sweating to death in their own house. Here's the Secretary of State to blather on with all of this.
We were working together on the challenge of Daesh, ISIL, and terrorism. It's hard for some people to grasp it. But what you are doing here right now is of equal importance because it has the ability to literally save life on the planet itself.
Huh?
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've seen an air conditioner take over an airliner and fly it into a building. Can't tell you how many times I saw a refrigerator roll into a bus station for no apparent reason and start stabbing people with a knife. Yep. As we're working together on the challenge of terror. We're working together on the challenge of ISIS and terrorism. But we're stopping right now to really identify the true danger in our lives. Your refrigerator. Because it has HFCs in it. And whatever extra KFCs you might have, keeping it cold. See, we got to get rid of refrigerators because that way there's a real danger to global warming. Because if you don't have refrigerators, your food will rot. You will eat that and you will be made sick while you're sweating to death in your living room. Are you flipping high?
From John to Stupid Kerry?
Yeah. The use of hydrofluorocarbons is unfortunately growing. Already the HFCs used in refrigerators, air conditioners, and other items are emitting an entire gigation. Oh, an entire gigaton. That's a gigaton A megaton is 1 million. A gigaton must be 1 billion. A gigaton of carbon dioxide equivalent pollution into the atmosphere annually. Now, if that sounds like a lot, my friends, it's because it is. It's the equivalent to emissions from nearly 300 coal-fired power plants every single year. You see, this is all a part of a stupid-ass game. The only way to solve this problem is to cool off the atmosphere. The only way to cool off the atmosphere is pay taxes. What, are you high? They're trying to tell you, and President Obama did the other day, trying to tell you that you face a bigger threat from your refrigerator than you do from an ISIS terrorist.
Does a refrigerator cut your head off?
You know, Matt just asked if a refrigerator could cut your head off. And I suppose, if you had one of the old ones with the freezer on the top, you could conceivably slam your head off.
I have one of those.
Yeah. You could slam your head off in your refrigerator. You know what you could do is you could open your freezer and stick your tongue out and put it on the grill. The grate there, the shelf, and get stuck. And then rip off your tongue and bleed to death. It would look like somebody.
You mean like a Christmas story?
It would look like somebody slit your throat. Forget what you've heard about terrorism. The biggest threat in your life is the ice maker, because that's the coldest part of your refrigerator. The refrigerator. It's a terrorist item in and of itself. The terrorists are going to start freezing you to death. Ah! This is the Wells Report.
Control, this is QL1. Everything looks good on my end. Prepping for liftoff. Over. One more thing, QL1. What's that, Control? You've been talking a lot about Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans lately. What would you say is the best reason to use it? Well, it's completely online. It's easy to use. You can get approved in minutes. It's convenient. You can share your pay stubs and bank statements at the touch of a button, so you get real numbers, not estimates. And hey, QL1, I asked for the best reason. Yeah, go ahead and pick one. Anyone. That's tough. They all sound great. I think you're finally getting it, Control. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button. Get mortgage.
Rocket.
Visit for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM, The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM, The Answer.
Once upon a time, a girl named Goldilocks was searching for the perfect mattress. One was too hard. Ouch. One was too soft. Ugh. But one was just right. Then, when she tried to sleep, it squeaked, it rattled, it moved. It was the old metal bed frame, and it was unbearable.
It's time to get the Embrace bed frame by Knickerbocker. Why would you spend thousands of dollars on a quality mattress and then put it on an ugly, noisy metal frame that you have to hide with a dust ruffle? Get the Embrace bed frame by Knickerbocker. It will eliminate noise, motion transfer, and protect your mattress from sagging. Knickerbocker foundations are made in the USA and come with a limited lifetime warranty. They're available in 5 colors, look beautiful, and require no tools for assembly. It's time for a better bed frame from Knickerbocker.
Finally, Goldilocks got smart and got a Knickerbocker Embrace bed frame, and it was just right.
Visit your local furniture or mattress store and ask for the Embrace bed frame by Knickerbocker.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Kurt in Bedford. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing real good, John David. I'll tell you what, great report on that. I just got done reviewing the videos in Europe in the last 8 days. Knife attack on a train, the guy that blew himself up at the nightclub.
Yep.
The mall attack, et cetera, and our Secretary of State is talking about refrigerators and air conditioners. That's the main threat. Look, my question is this: when someone becomes so unhinged, is there a way that Congress can demand a psychiatric exam, or are there methods of impeachment?
No, not for the Secretary of State. The only thing that we could do is hope that he climbs inside a refrigerator or freezer or something like that. Just put one out there, see if he climbs in and says, put a sign out there that says, "This is mighty comfortable in here." Vince in Dallas, welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I caught the tail end of what you were saying. Now, you were saying, and I didn't hear Secretary of State, whatever his name, I didn't hear his speech. He said he wanted to get rid of refrigerators.
Yes, refrigerators and air conditioners, because they're worse than terrorism. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. I'm going to go enjoy my air conditioning now. This has been the Wells Report.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
At Lumber Liquidators, we're kicking off our summer stack-out sale with special deals at every store. Overstock floors, small lots, and more are priced to move. Get unheard-of clearance deals at select stores on 2,000 varieties of pre-finished hardwood from just 59 cents. Special buys like durable strand carbonized bamboo. It's just $169. North American and European laminate up to 20% off, with some deals from just 29 cents. And special financing. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you and get to the summer stack-out sale today.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. The Democratic National Convention getting off to a raucous start. Party officials issuing an apology to Bernie Sanders for leaked Democratic National Committee emails that suggest there was bias against his campaign. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker calling for unity.
When we are indivisible, we are invincible.
Hillary Clinton will accept her party's presidential nomination Thursday night. It may be the worst mass killing in Japan since World War II. At least 19 people have been killed and about 20 have been wounded in a knife attack at a home for the disabled outside Tokyo.
He's a former worker at the facility in the city of Sagamihara near Tokyo.
Fox's Alistair Wanklin in Tokyo. A wildfire that's forced thousands of people from their homes on the edge of LA continues to burn uncontrolled. Crews say at times they've been unable to battle the blaze because they had to help people who didn't heed evacuation orders. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. We all know life can get crazy, and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now, we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. One of the big surprises coming out of the Republican National Convention was the speech of Ted Cruz, where he chose not to endorse the nominee, Donald Trump. Let me set the Cruz speech in a bit more context. In 1976, Ronald Reagan, after he had lost the nomination to Gerald Ford, delivered an amazing speech that captured the hearts of the American voters. Ted Cruz was delivering that speech, and then he shifted, and then the boos started.
Vote your conscience, vote for candidates up and down the ticket who you trust to defend our freedom.
That's when 1976 shifted into 1964, and when Nelson Rockefeller was booed by the delegates.
The Republican Party is in real danger of subversion by a radical, well-financed, highly disciplined majority.
I know this. Politicos will long remember Ted Cruz in Cleveland, or as we're saying in this year of Game of Thrones, the Ted wedding. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
You can buy your next gun anywhere.
But there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Dude, do you hear that? What is that? That doesn't sound good.
Oh man, this isn't good at all.
Hold on. Let me see what this does. Hey, is it better?
Nope. I'm pretty sure this is the opposite of better. Dude, man, what are we gonna do? This is awful.
Looks like you need the help of American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Oh, man, it's Will Nell with American Leak Detection.
Save us!
No worries, guys. American Leak Detection has been around for more than 25 years, detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home. Plus, we do all this without cutting huge holes in your wall.
Thanks, American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection. Leak detection without destruction.
Just go to alddfw.com next time to get a hold of us. It's much easier.
American Leak Detection.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM, The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, folks. Bill Thomas here with Accurate Foundation Repairs. If you think your home has foundation issues, we'll send one of our highly trained technicians out to give you a free, accurate assessment of your home's foundation at no charge. Accurate Foundation Repair is the only company in the industry that has its warranty backed up by a third-party insurance company. Structure home warranty. Call Accurate Foundation Repair now, 972-623-2500, or on the web at accuratefoundationrepair.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair. We give you a lift for the whole lot less.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM, The Answer.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
Strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men.
The following has been rated PC for politically correct. Pay attention, you just may learn something.
It's the Sage, Larry Elder.
Larry Elder here, the sage from South Central, the Prince of Pico Union, the Czar of Common Sense, the Great Eldersky, Don Lorenzo. Welcome to the program. No victory threats allowed because we've got a country to save. So let's get her teed up!
You want to play rock? Say hello to my little friend. What the hell's going on out here?
Ooh, that's a bingo. And this is Larry Elder.